Hey, what's going on, guys? maksymkorzh here. So finally I've reached quite a significant milestone in upgrading the standard Linux add text editor, or ED, how it should be pronounced, but I like pronouncing it add, to somewhat that looks like VI or Vim, and literally I'm having this visual interface. So without further ado, let me actually demonstrate how from now on I am capable of editing text. So the internal buffer containing the text within the standard Linux add editor is a linked list. So that's the data structure type. And I have, so if I note this little part of the screen, so by default it's normal mode. In normal mode I can move cursor if I had some text in it, or if I say colon, then I can execute commands here down below. I'll show that just right in a moment, but for now, if I say so, see like this N is gonna just, if I say I'm going to the insert mode, and in the insert mode I can enter some text. Entering text works just nicely, so escape to go back to normal mode. Now HJKL to manipulate the cursor, so I can split the lines, obviously. And backspace works also quite nicely. So yeah, well, actually debugging backspace took me quite a bit of time to complete. Yeah, and I'm quite proud of this, how this currently works. So here we go. But yeah, I don't want this file, so let's say big E to open without, so since I have a modified file, I don't want to save it, so big E stands for edit, like with dropping the previous buffer, whatever it was there. So let's have a look at bed.c, which is the file currently containing the source code for this visual part of the editor. I am going to put this put many functions to the specific files, like all the print stuff would go to IO. I'm almost quite pretty sure it's working nicely now. What else? Yeah, so something would go to IO, something would go to buffer.c, which the buffer.c in add source code contains all that is related to manipulating the buffer. So recently I have implemented 3 major functions. So when inserting new line, this one, deleting the character and inserting the character while being in the insert mode. So just a quick look at what we got here. So yeah, the functions are a little bit overloaded and I don't quite like how it looks, but at least it works, and from now on I'm actually already at the point where I'm gonna be using this editor at its current state to actually start improving its own features and functionality by already using it, because in that case I will be able to go for this extensive testing as a user, because like I've been mentioned many times before, I'm doing this for my personal use because I really wanted some VI like text editor, but the one that I made kind of on my own. Not what I did is just maybe like 10% of what the add command on Linux can do, because like regular expression search, file regular expression, find and replace, file manipulation like open buffer, save, read from the buffer, execute commands. So really a whole lot of things there, and still I need to learn I need to learn all of that stuff. But anyways, for now, just want to give you a quick idea on how do I use the built-in functions from buffer.c file, allowing me to dynamically manipulate the cursor, to dynamically manipulate the buffer. Because if this was just the add itself, just want to give you an idea. So say, what I have here, so the cursor position is here, and here we have the length of the current line, so how many characters. But what I want to say that I do have this synchronization between the cursor, and the internal adds current address. It's not a variable, that's just a function called current adder to get the current line pointer, and starting from then we can put something there. So for instance, let's say I want to append to below the cursor, so cursor is here, I want to append below the cursor, so if I go to command mode, say A, enter, and I say I just appended a line, and bam, I got this line appended. So well, the cursor doesn't move, and I'm not quite sure if it should have. Well, probably doesn't, because I'm doing this like from the command mode, and yeah, actually I'm wondering if I append something else. If I now, is it gonna give me a segfault now? Do I have no, it updates. Yes, it updates, but not exactly. So yeah, it's really a whole lot of things to work on. But the good news is that I am actually, so yeah, probably, yeah, hold on a second, let me just escape from here without saving, because yes, I know, and also I obviously can say like this, okay, and yeah, just to make sure that it didn't mess up anything. Yeah, I didn't. Great. So for instance, I don't remember what the line number was, but say I have 354 lines, so say I want to navigate to the very last one, I can say 354, enter, and I go there. So this is how the synchronization works. So if I say like 200s, I go there. Yeah, so it's quite nice. And on the contrary, if I like I've been showing already, so if I put the cursor somewhere, and let's say here, if I run the command like change, for instance, so whatever I put, it just changes the line. So the idea that the adds commands that kind of working like from the command line are still on the card, they still work. Well, not well. Like if you say you try the P command to print the buffer, obviously it doesn't affect anything, because it has the visual representation, like dynamically updated. But anyways, all this insert, update, change, and if you use just specify the line number, it's also getting synchronized. So let's have a quick look how starting from the insert character, and then to insert a new line and the delete character, so how these things work. Just, yeah, quite messy functions, but for now, just hope no memory leaks here, although everything is possible. So if someone spots the memory leak in my code, then yeah, please kindly let me know. So the first two things I do when I'm about to insert the characters. So I'm initializing this LP variable, which is the pointer to the current node, current line node, which is a pointer, so like line node or pointer to the linked list element. So the entire buffer in standard Linux ad editor is represented by the linked list. Like for those who forgot or doesn't know what that means, the linked list means that you have a node, and in this node you have pointers to the next node after it. So it's quite a rare way to represent dynamic data structures, and I would probably go like for the array of structs or something like that. I've been doing this. If you're writing in C++, you can do vectors, for instance. So in Python, you don't care about anything. You can just do list append, list of lists, and all is getting handled automatically. But anyways, so first we're getting the pointer to the current position, to the current line. Then this char line stands for, so it makes a copy of whatever is in that line. And then I'm creating the new length. Why it's +3 is because it should be terminated by the new line. Then obviously there's a terminating character, and also one extra space for a new character that I am inserting into the line. So that's why it's +3 here. Allocating new allocating memory for a new variable called uline. Then when I get done with this, I free the memory for the uline. The uline stands for update line. And then, well, I probably could have used something like memcopy or stringcat or something like that, but here in particular, I'm actually doing this by hands. Not sure it's the best ever way, but yeah, it's the way I'm doing currently at the moment. So whatever goes to the current cursor position, so where the cursor is now, it's the current cursor position. So from cursor to the left, yes, all that goes there. Just copy into the new line whatever I have in the line. Then whatever I have, like if I'm pointing to where the pointer or where the cursor is currently at, this cursor X position, I'm inserting a new character there, and then the rest goes the right part of the line. New line -2 goes the new line because that's the requisite for the input functions of the add itself, and terminating by the zero terminating character. And what is interesting here is that there is no function to like update the line in the editor, because add well, if I may be horribly wrong. If I'm wrong, please kindly let me know in the commentaries. But what I realized so far about add is you can't change one character in a line. So if you want to change something in the line, you can change the entire line. Hence this C command that stands for change. So you can either append a line, delete a line, or change a line. And yanking and pasting also works line-wise, so it doesn't you can't like yank from the current cursor position to the end of the line, for instance. A little bit of a limitation, but still. And I really like this strictness of add. So just line-wise, it claims that it's line-wise and it's not going anywhere else. Yeah, like if I'm wrong here, please kindly let me know. But I didn't quite find any ways to manipulate the lines in a different way other than just completely replacing one line with a new instance. So the idea is that if I want to change a single character in the line, I need to create a new line that does have this character being inserted into the line. Then I need to delete, so here I need to delete the current line, and then to where I've just deleted the line, I put this newly created line with the inserted character in. So literally every time I insert something, it like creates a copy of the current string or the current line plus the inserted character. Then it deletes the current line and appends the line with this newly inserted character. This might sound weird, this may look weird, but you see it works, so it's quite practical. And one of my goals was not to touch the original code of add and just to build on top of it. So whatever, let's call it API functions if you like. So whatever function, whatever API we have for the standard Linux add editor, I was relying on those. So I didn't really. So I could have like create my own function to just like change the current line, but it's, I don't know, like add for me is perfect, and I don't really want to touch it with my dirty hands there. So hence this idea, just delete. So every time I want to insert the character, just deleting the line and inserting a new line that does contain that character. So hopefully this is gonna be good enough. There is a special case. It's one of, like, since add didn't really mean to be visual editor ever. The problem is that it doesn't. Well, when I've been implementing some target editors on my own, like in different languages, in C, and C++, and Python, I was like, in my implementation, in the data structures I had the new line character being appended at the very end, and hence I didn't have a problem of trying to insert a character into an empty line, because the empty line wasn't empty. There always was a new line character. Well, not always, but anyways, you got the idea. But here we often encounter the situation when and where you just have the empty node which doesn't contain any text in it, And to handle this, here is what I do. Weird hack, weird trick. So I'm creating the string that contains first just whatever bland character, maybe whatever character would get replaced after, followed by the new line, and then I'm replacing the first character, this one, with whatever character user actually types, and then I append this stuff in there. So that's how it works. Actually, quite interestingly, that you might be wondering that this new line actually adds the new line to the line. No, it's not. The new line is the terminating character. It's quite interesting. In terms of, so if you run the standard command like insert or append or whatever, so just to give you an idea, so for instance here I want, say let's say insert, and I say hello. So I just typed hello and I type enter, so the string that was there was like ended up with enter, and only in this case this append line, it actually strips the string, so it removes the enter, or probably replaces it with a zero terminating character, or maybe somehow resize. I'm not sure how that works, but anyways, so this append line here or here, for instance, so it really needs the new line character to be like the terminating character, hence I'm doing this here, so like terminating character, but then I replace it with whatever I have there. I don't remember what this stands for. If line is not equal to null. Oh, actually this one it's if the line, yeah, what I just said was actually related to this part. So if the line was empty, and I don't quite remember what this was standing for. Oh, it's also there is also a very tricky scenario where the line is not null, so it's being initialized. However, its length is not like, it doesn't have a length. It stands 0. So we need to do somewhat a similar trick here as well. So again, like I don't know, it looks really weird, I know, but you know, like the happiness of having this editor where you can actually insert characters and type enter, it just adds the new line, and type delete, type big space, it deletes the character, and if it's the first character in the line, it just wraps to the previous line. I don't know, I'm quite happy with this. I think that's good enough already. So delete character is quite similar to insert character. So this part, so from here to here, it's just like if you delete within the line, so it's quite just takes two instances of the string, like the left, like what goes to the left of the cursor, what goes to the right of the cursor, then where the cursor is, we just drop that character, and hence, like again, like replacing the old string with the new string. And what I've spent a whole lot of hours to debug is the second part. This one, this part is when what goes, say cursor is here, so what goes to the right of the character needs to be appended to the previous line, so that we have something like this, right? So this took extremely long to debug because yes, until I considered this copies of the strings, so string duplicate here with this get as buff line, it didn't work because when I just did this get as buff line, it somehow messed up the pointers, and the pointer to the current line to the next line for some reason has been pointing to exactly the same string. That's strange to say the least, but yes, I don't know how the add works internally, so maybe that's the case. I don't know. But when I did the string duplications, so literal copies of the strings, it started working. Finally, started working properly, and I made them constant characters. I hope that I don't need to free them after this. Although strings application, whatever, like probably allocates new memory. I'm not quite sure about the string applications. I kind of should have used free, like free LL line and free R line. So L line stands for left line, R line stands for right line, so to left, line to the left of the cursor, to the right of the cursor, but in this case, R line is the current line and left and L line is the previous one. But since it's constant, when I try to free, it tells me that free discards the const identifier, which makes sense because if you're freeing that, you're manipulating and it's no longer a constant. So probably I really hope that these constant characters are actually being destroyed automatically when they are out of the scope. It's just my assumption, so I didn't run yet any software to search for memory leaks. Well, maybe one day, if I would be brave enough, I will do this. I don't know. And yeah, I don't quite like how these kind of functions are too big. But anyways, what I really like, so insert is also, yes, does quite similar to what the delete does. But the difference is just if you just hit enter somewhere here in the middle of the line, just goes left, it stays, and all goes right gets deleted from this line, and it just gets copied to the next line. So that's another thing. So this logic is represented here. Also, like many scenarios that are available, and like the biggest complexity comes from the fact that we have like these empty lines like that are null, like here, and those that are not null but don't have the length. Maybe, no, actually we don't have that scenario, but anyways, yeah, so it's really messy, but it works, and for me it's really more important than anything else. So the next step is actually to start working in this editor to further on manipulate and update its own source code. And if it's somehow practical, which I really hope it is, then yeah, then I will add some navigation tricks, because now I don't even have like go to the end of the line, go to the beginning of the line, so only the HJK to manipulate the cursor, and only use the command line to navigate through the document to the specific line. Also search works, by the way. So for instance, let's search for this delete character, right? So if I go somewhere here and I say delete character, it should bring the cursor, yeah, so it should bring the cursor right over in here. Yeah, exactly. So just brought the cursor here. So I can search if I want to search for this one more time. Well, it's not really handy. You don't have this N, big N and little n, like capital N and little non-capital N to navigate back and forth like in VI or Vim. But I just can say again delete character, and the next instance is gonna be found. And again, like, so yeah, so you just found this one. It doesn't put the cursor exactly where it finds it. It just, again, like, it works line-wise. But this should be practical enough, really. So I think that's not much of a problem. Like again, this is it from my side. So let me know what you think in the commentaries about this current state of this project, and obviously there would be a link to the source code so you can try it. You just download, configure, make, build, configure, make, install, and you can try to give it a try. That's it from my side. Thanks for watching. Until the next time, and take care.